USP Terre Haute sits on flat land in western Indiana, surrounded by fields and low industrial buildings. It is a United States penitentiary, operated by the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Its mission is narrow and severe. This facility houses some of the most dangerous and consequential inmates in the federal system. It is best known as the location of the federal death row for men and the federal execution chamber. The reputation of this prison does not come from riots or chaos. It comes from certainty. Within these walls, punishment is not symbolic. It is procedural. It is final. If stories like this matter to you, consider subscribing, because what happens next reveals how this system truly works. The prison opens in 1940, originally designed to hold high-security inmates from across the country. Over time, its role changes. By the late 20th century, USP Terre Haute becomes the designated site for male federal death row inmates. The execution chamber is built on the prison grounds. From that moment forward, the institution represents the federal government's ultimate authority over life and death. This is not a place where sentences are theoretical. Here, they are scheduled. The knowledge of that fact defines the atmosphere inside the prison every day. The facility operates at the highest security level. Inmates are classified based on risk, history, and sentence. Those on death row live under conditions of extreme control. Movement is limited. Contact is restricted. Surveillance is constant. Cells are designed to minimize interaction. The goal is not rehabilitation. It is containment. The routines are rigid. The schedule rarely changes. Every action is monitored. Silence is not accidental here. It is enforced. Unlike state death rows, which vary widely in conditions and oversight, the federal system follows standardized procedures. At USP Terre Haute, these procedures govern every detail of daily life. Meals arrive on schedule. Recreation, when permitted, occurs under supervision and separation. Legal visits are structured and observed. There is no open population for death row inmates. There is no chance encounter. This isolation reduces violence, but it also removes any sense of normal social existence. The crimes that place inmates at USP Terre Haute are among the most serious federal offenses. These include terrorism, large-scale drug trafficking connected to violence, espionage, and murders involving federal jurisdiction. Many inmates are transferred here from other facilities after receiving a death sentence in federal court. Their presence reflects the federal government's role in prosecuting crimes that cross state lines or threaten national security. The prison does not decide guilt or innocence. It enforces the outcome. Federal death sentences are rare compared to state sentences. Appeals take years, sometimes decades. During that time, inmates remain in limbo. At Terre Haute, that waiting period unfolds in a tightly controlled environment. Time passes without markers. Days resemble each other. The passage of years does not change the rules. This consistency is intentional. The institution is designed to remove unpredictability. For staff, this reduces risk. For inmates, it reinforces permanence. The execution chamber at USP Terre Haute is a small, secure space within the prison complex. It is not visible to the general population. Access is restricted to authorized personnel. When the federal government resumes executions in 2020 after a long pause, this chamber becomes active again. From July 2020 to January 2021, multiple federal executions are carried out here. Each follows a strict protocol approved at the highest levels of government. These events bring national attention back to Terre Haute, but the daily reality inside the prison remains unchanged. Executions at the federal level involve coordination between the Bureau of Prisons, the Department of Justice, and outside witnesses approved by law. Media representatives, victims' family members, and legal observers may be present. The process is documented. Procedures are reviewed repeatedly. The intent is to ensure compliance with federal regulations. For the prison staff, these events are part of their assigned duties. For the institution, they are rare but defining moments. The presence of the execution chamber affects more than the inmates on death row. Staff members work in an environment where the stakes are absolute. Training emphasizes procedure, restraint, and adherence to protocol. Emotional involvement is discouraged. The system relies on distance. Decisions are made above the facility level. Orders are followed. This structure allows the prison to function without interruption, even during periods of public scrutiny. USP Terre Haute differs from older, notorious prisons known for violence and unrest. There are no legendary riots associated with this facility. There is no mythology of inmate control. Its fearsome reputation comes from order, not chaos. The prison is quiet by design. Separation is constant. The rules are enforced consistently. For those inside, the lack of disorder does not bring comfort. It brings clarity. The sentence is real. The consequences are defined. Life on federal death row involves limited personal property. Cells are small. Furnishings are basic. Lighting and temperature are controlled. Inmates spend most of their time alone. Human contact occurs through barriers. Recreation, when allowed, takes place in confined spaces. The goal is security, not stimulation. These conditions are reviewed by courts and oversight bodies, but they remain among the most restrictive in the federal system. Legal activity continues even under these conditions. Inmates meet with attorneys. Appeals are filed. Motions are heard. The judicial process moves slowly, but it does move. At Terre Haute, legal work becomes the primary connection to the outside world. The prison accommodates this process while maintaining control. There is no deviation from security protocols. Every movement related to legal access is scheduled and supervised. The staff at USP Terre Haute includes correctional officers, medical personnel, administrators, and support workers. Many spend years at the facility. They operate within a clear chain of command. Professional distance is emphasized. The work environment is stable but demanding. The responsibility of managing inmates under death sentences requires constant attention. Mistakes are not tolerated. Procedures exist to prevent them. Public perception of Terre Haute often focuses solely on executions. This narrow view misses the broader function of the facility. It is a working prison every day of the year. Most inmates here are not on death row but are classified as high security. They serve long federal sentences under strict conditions. Their presence reinforces the prison's role as a containment facility for the federal system's highest-risk population. The surrounding community lives with the prison as a fixed presence. Employment opportunities connect residents to the facility. At the same time, executions bring national attention that local life does not seek. For the town, the prison is both ordinary and exceptional. It operates quietly most of the time. When it becomes news, it does so because of decisions made far beyond Indiana. Debate over the federal death penalty continues in courts, legislatures, and public discourse. USP Terre Haute does not engage in that debate. Its role is implementation. When federal law authorizes an execution and appeals are exhausted, the prison carries out the order. This separation between policy and practice defines the institution. It exists to perform a function, not to question it. In recent years, changes in federal policy have once again placed executions on hold. Death row inmates remain at Terre Haute. The execution chamber stands ready but unused. This pause does not alter daily life inside the prison. The routines remain. The controls remain. The sentence remains in force. The uncertainty exists outside the walls. Inside, the structure is unchanged. USP Terre Haute represents a distinct aspect of the American prison system. It is not designed to shock. It does not rely on fear through violence. Its power comes from precision. Every rule is written. Every action is documented. The finality of its purpose is never hidden. This transparency is what makes the prison unsettling to many observers. The facility embodies the federal government's most serious response to crime. It reflects a system that values order, control, and procedure above all else. For inmates, staff, and the public, Terre Haute stands as a reminder that some punishments are irreversible. The prison does not dramatize that fact. It enforces it quietly, every day.